Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Under Construction. I'm Rodney with special guest Steph Sutto. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Rodney. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No problem. I met Ms. Sutto on Twitter, and I've just been following her for her knowledge about the Top Shot, and I really wanted to have her on. So I messaged her a few weeks back. And I'm like, let me try again. So I messaged her again, and she agreed to come on the show today. Do you want to give yourself a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah. So, I started Top Shot in October, right when they opened the beta to the public. So Top Shot, they started a closed beta just to, very small group of people to test things out in June. And then in October, they decided to open the beta up to the public. And so I was one of the first people, in the public beta back in October of 2020. Very exciting. One day later, I told my twin sister Jennifer about it. And so now we're both involved with it. And, we're content creators by nature. We've been putting ourselves out there on social media for years. And so, we saw so much potential with Top Shot and nobody really creating content, or barely anyone creating content. And so, Jen started a YouTube channel. I started my Twitter and my Twitch. A lot of people know me for my Twitter because I update things really quick. I get out information really fast. And, it's very helpful for pack drops, even, random stress tests. And I just recently, about a month ago, started my Twitch. We have over 1,000 followers now. We're doing really great. And so, yeah, great stuff happening.
Gotcha. Before we jump in, I got to ask you a question. What is your favorite Top Shot moment that you have?
Probably my LeBron James Western Conference Final S1 rare moment. Ooh. It's serial number 194. That's my favorite moment that I have because I bought it back in October and I paid $65 for it at the time.
Oh my God.
And that was a lot. That was a lot for me at the time. I was like, ooh, most of these rare moments are going for $10. I don't know if 65, I know it's LeBron, but is that really worth it? Because it was growth was extremely slow back then. We didn't expect it to be blowing up this fast. I literally thought that I would have to wait years for it to even be 10x even, and now it's way more than 10x. But yeah, so back then I was really debating it, but I wanted to complete that set. So luckily I bought it because now I have the Western Conference Finals Series 1 set completed, and I'm happy about it.
Whew, man, LeBron James, that's the legend right there. So recently Dapper raised $305 million from investors, legends like KD and MJ, and actors like Will Smith. So how important is this for their brand?
Yeah, it's so big. You saw the article that came out. If you don't know, you could see a list of a lot of the top investors, and there's a lot of people, celebrities, athletes, not just from the NBA, but from other sports as well. Mm-hmm. And it's huge. Dapper Labs is the company behind NBA Top Shot. Dapper Labs is also the company behind CryptoKitties, which CryptoKitties, that's actually how I got into NBA Top Shot to begin with. Was I found out about CryptoKitties years before. And, those are digital kitties that you can collect and you can actually breed to create more kitties. And they go off of, instead of series, they go off of generations. So the youngest generation is the most valuable, and as you keep breeding, the supply increases, it becomes kind of a little bit less valuable unless it's a special or a rare. So, Dapper Labs right now, for sports, they only have Top Shot, NBA. But we do know they're coming out with UFC as well very soon. So, if you don't know about that, they're going to be coming out with UFC moments. And, so I think there's just so much potential with what Dapper is going to do, not just for NBA Top Shot, but for other sports as well. But Top Shot's the main thing, and that's what everyone's super hyped about. So, I think it's great. $305 million. The money is important, but also they need time because, you need to hire people, you need to put systems in place, you need to train, you need to test things. And that's why we're still in beta, and Top Shot's still in beta. We're going to be in beta for several months. We still have plenty of things that we need to work on. I say we, I don't work for Top Shot, but plenty of things that they need to work on. So yeah, I think we'll still be in beta for a bit, but I think raising the money was a really, really great, push.
Gotcha. So how important do you think it is having the buy-in from a legend like MJ and Kevin Durant, and you have NBA players like Josh Hart opening packs live? So how important do you think that is for the market of Top Shot?
That's so important. Like we saw when like NBA players like Josh Hart first started streaming on Twitch, opening packs, like people were like pumped about it, and it was like, whoa, like an NBA player doing this. And now it's almost kind of like normal because, like, we've seen Tyrese Halliburton do it. We've seen Damian Lee. Like, we've seen these NBA players on streams opening packs. But I think, as more and more NBA players get into this and they start streaming pack openings, I think, it gets just people excited because they're like narrating what's happening while they're watching the moments. Like, that's just really cool. They remember those moments. They're like, oh, that was a sick dunk on, this person. And they'll remember the game and say little things. And it's just really cool. I think it just brings community. And that's kind of what, is important for a lasting company is you want to build a strong community. And that's why I love what you're doing with, this show is because, we need people like you and me who are creating content to keep this community strong and keep people learning about Top Shot who are brand new that want to get involved.
Gotcha. And you mentioned stress tests. So what exactly is a stress test for people?
A stress test is basically, it's not like an official announced drop. Like they don't send anyone an email about it. It's a random thing that it's not like everyone's supposed to know about it. It's supposed to just be like a random thing where, if you get a pack, great, but you're really just helping. It's a $9 base pack is what you get, but You're really just helping Top Shot because they're testing new things. So like they were testing some different Q stuff that they've never done before. And oftentimes they'll just test different things. They'll test maybe having the marketplace open while there's packs dropping, like that had never happened before. There's just stuff that, they want to test out for bigger drops that are actually official, that actually you will get an email in advance and you will know about it at least 8 hours in advance. So that's what a stress test is.
Gotcha. And so I know I've been seeing this kind of a lot. The market is usually down a lot for some people. Can you just kind of explain like what's going on with it and what they're trying to do? I know they're still in beta.
You mean like the marketplace not working, being down, or you're saying like
it's kind of not working? Like sometimes it's not working for people. Yeah.
Yeah, they've actually made a lot of improvements because it like during there was a huge spike in demand and a huge influx of new users in like mid-February. And so there was a lot of times like you saw even during the All-Stars, when they did the collab with the NBA and they actually announced, I think it was the lineup through the NBA Top Shot website, and they weren't able to they actually had to disable signups during that time. The marketplace was down. Like they weren't prepared for all that demand.
Wow.
Because we are still in beta. And so, yeah, sometimes the site's down because they have to do maintenance. And it's like, we just want them to be fixing stuff right now because, long-term, we want them to be able to always just be running,
Gotcha. And so right now, like we're kind of running down toward the end of the season. How do you think Top Shot kind of reacts to the end of the season? COVID, more people getting their COVID vaccines. Do you foresee like a slowdown coming soon, or just it kind of stabilizing out?
I think they're gonna introduce some new stuff to keep it exciting. I think that's what they have to do. Some new stuff, maybe stuff we've never seen before. Maybe different kind of packs. We don't know what they're going to do. They could introduce WNBA. They've talked about that. Like, we don't know. They could end up dope. That would be dope, right? And they could end up ending Series 2 and starting Series 3. Like, because the series doesn't necessarily match up with the season. That doesn't have to be the case. So, yeah, we'll see. We don't actually know what they're going to do, but I think they're going to keep it entertaining.
Gotcha. And you mentioned Series 1 and Series 2. What's your long-term vision of like the value of Series 1 and Series 2 versus future series?
I'm a huge believer in Series 1 because of the fact that it's the, original series. And I even recently, during this dip, while prices are really low, I feel like, they're at clearance prices. I recently completed my early adopter set, which was the first ever common set ever released on the platform.
Oh, wow.
June 15th. And I thought that was very, very special. And I'm like, I want to complete this set. So, it cost me a little under $4,000 to complete it. And I thought that was great. I'm going to hold that set long term. I had 0 of those moments a week ago. Like a week and a half ago. And during this dip, I just been able to, buy those moments. I wanted them to be 3-digit serials. They're out of 4-digit maximum, but I got 3-digit. I thought that was cool because I value serial numbers. And yeah, I do believe that S1, it is the most scarce, and especially as time goes on, think about it now. Series 2, the maximum they're out of right now is 35,000, and that's CC, which means they can actually increase that number, 35,000.
Yep.
But Series 1, all of those are LE. They're not going to increase the mint number out of those, and the maximum is 3,999, so almost 4,000. That's it. 4,000 at the maximum of Series 1 versus 35,000 currently the maximum. Like, that's insane. And it's just going to keep increasing as the series goes on. So I'm a huge believer in Series 1 purely based off of scarcity and also the fact that it was just the first. And for NFTs, that's pretty important.
Gotcha. You mentioned challenges. So, like, can you describe to people what challenges are, and are you rewarded for actually completing those challenges?
Yeah, challenges are right now the only really utility that these moments have. They are going to be coming out with a game called Hardcore. It's going to be a mobile game where you can actually play with your moments, if you don't know this.
Wow.
And that will add a lot of utility. Think about how much money people spend on games where they don't even own those assets, and they're not even worth it. They can't sell it, and you know what I mean? People are buying skins, they're buying weapons, all these things. And they're not actually theirs. Like, they're not on the blockchain, right? There's no proof that they own them. But with these moments, you'll be able to play with them, and there is proof that you own them, and that'll increase utility, which will increase the value of it, because we see that happen with challenges. The challenges, during the challenge, we've seen it increase the value of those moments, because people want to complete the challenge. People are buying those moments. And basically, they'll do a challenge, let's just say for 7 days, and they'll say, all right, there's 12 moments. If you, complete the set, you buy all these moments, or you get them from packs, whatever it is. If you complete the set and you hold on to these moments before the timer runs out, then you can get this challenge reward after the timer ends. And it's random. It's totally random. They essentially take like a screenshot of every single person who completed it right as the timer ended, and then they just randomly give out serials. Hopefully you get a good one,
Gotcha.
That's the challenges.
The serial numbers are important. I tell people.
Definitely. They are.
And is there a tool on the market right now to kind of like evaluate your market value of your collection?
Yeah, I like, there's actually a few websites. I like to personally use evaluate.market. Actually, even better than that, I like momentranks.com, because Moment Ranks actually takes into account if you have like really good serials. Okay. And so I actually like that, because I actually do have like some really good serials. So, if you compare my account on evaluate.market versus Moment Ranks, it's more accurate on Moment Ranks. That's what I like to use. Gotcha.
And quick question for you. So I know that there were some issues with people wanting to withdraw their money from their Dapper account. Do you know what's going on with that? And have some of those issues been resolved for people?
Yeah. So basically, when they initially, opened the beta to the public, they had like one person working on withdrawals, like, and it was, manually reviewing your account, making sure you're good. And at the time that was fine, because it was like, there was barely anyone on the platform. Well, they didn't expect in January to get such a huge pump of users, such a huge spike. And so they're like, oh my God, we need to, hire people to be doing these. And all of a sudden, everyone's applying to withdrawal. And it's like, it's not a system where it just checks and
spits it out. Yeah.
It's an actual person that's like, going through, looking through your account, making sure there's no suspicious activity. Like, You know what I mean? And so that's the thing is, they've recently scaled. Now they have 8, which maybe that doesn't seem like a lot. It's definitely not, but they've made progress. They have 8 people now working on it. Full time on Withdrawals. That is their number one priority is Withdrawals, because they understand that, people are kind of freaked out about that because they're like, it's taking so long for me to, once I apply, to actually get approved. And so, that's why they're working on that right now. But yeah, totally understandable that people are frustrated about that, because that is a serious thing that, while we're in beta and while, we're kind of in this market dip, like that's what they're going to be working on. And they're not planning on, doing advertisements and trying to get another huge spike in users until they can really, get that resolved for a lot of people. So
gotcha, completely understand.
It's a matter of time.
Quick question for you. Do you foresee in the future where Dapper and Top Shot would allow us to kind of trade cards, like a trading service, or like a kind of like, okay, I give you 2 for 1 value, something like that?
Yeah, that would be so cool. I think they will come out with something where it's like, I can send you an offer and I can be like, I have this, like, I want to trade this. And then you can maybe like accept it, deny it, or like change it and then send that offer in. I think that would be really awesome. I feel like they will do that in the future, but it's just that that's not their priority, because they're working on, support tickets, withdrawals, and multi-accounts. That's like their main thing right now. So they don't have time to be like focusing on that stuff. But I do think in the future, maybe when we're out of beta, they will have that.
Gotcha. And as far as getting packs, I know I've heard this a lot from people. People are kind of frustrated that they didn't get the pack. And so does Dapper plan on like kind of improving that process as far as a first come, first serve, or would you foresee it just being totally random from here on out?
It used to be first come, first serve, where all you had to do was just click buy now, and then hopefully you got one, hopefully, but it was chaos.
Okay.
And, like in January when they had that and with so many users. I mean, back in the day when I joined, it was like, it wasn't really that hard to like buy. You can actually buy multiple because there wasn't that many people buying it. So it was just like, you could actually select how many you wanted to buy back in the day. And it was just like, well, how much money do you have? And you didn't think, there was no rush. You didn't think that it would be like so crazy. So I'm just like, I can only really afford like 2 of these. I'm just going to buy 2, and then packs would sit for a while. And yeah, but now it's like totally different because everyone wants a pack. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they still are having a lot of problems with bots and multi-accounts. And so, they're doing that random queue for a reason. That's just what they started experimenting with, and they seem to really like it. But we could see, potential changes to that in the future. I mean, rare packs are supposed to be rare. They're supposed to be hard to get. Legendary packs are supposed to be, extremely hard to get. Common packs are supposed to be easier to get. They're working on it, is what I would have to say.
Gotcha. And do you foresee like more legendary as far as like old school players kind of packs dropping? Like say for instance, like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan. Do you see those in the future?
I mean, now that Michael Jordan is, he's an investor, part of that $305 million fund for Dapper. Yeah, I think we might see some Michael Jordan moments. But I think because of the fact that they know that that's going to bring a lot of attention to the space, I don't think they're doing that. I highly doubt they would do that before we got out of beta.
Gotcha.
Just my personal opinion is because they really are not trying to like have another huge spike while they're not prepared right now. So they're using this time to work behind the scenes and like grow the team, put systems in place. It's important for long-term growth.
Gotcha. And what are your feelings about people kind of selling packs on eBay? Like I'm just kind of skeptical of that personally.
Yeah, well now, at this moment in time, gifting is disabled because they're working on changing the feature to maybe add some requirements to it. Okay. So like you buy a pack on eBay, you're not even going to be able to get it, and who knows when they're going to bring gifting back. So like I'd just be careful with that. Right now you can't sell your unopened packs on the marketplace, but in the future you should be able to. And I actually have some packs saved, and I plan on doing that in the future.
Okay. And kind of with the recently we just had a pre-order pack. Do you anticipate when it's coming and dropping into our accounts later?
Yeah, well, it's like you can see it in your account right now, but you just can't open it. And they said April 7th is when they'll like make an announcement about it. I think April 7th should be when you're able to open it, unless there's complications. That's what I think.
Gotcha. And within the next 6 months, where do you see Top Shot going? Do you see it still in beta? Do you see it out of beta? Do you see further investment into the product?
I think in the next 6 months, we could potentially be out of beta. And I think when we're out of beta, that means that they say, okay, this is a finished product. Like the website is finished, anyone can, withdraw as long as, they have these requirements easily. It's quick, it's fast. If maybe you have 24-hour support where, you message support, they immediately message back. There's not problems with multi-accounts because maybe you have a KYC check and, before you're even allowed to sign up. Like, I don't know, there has to be a lot of things that have to be fixed, but if they can do that in 6 months and they're out of beta, I think it's going to be insanely huge because then they're going to start marketing and that's when it's going to get crazy. They haven't even done any paid marketing yet. It's all just been like NBA players interested. They're just like, oh, I genuinely want to actually like stream and do, and they got some packs for free, but that's about it. But they have a lot of people, they said, that are kind of waiting on the sidelines to help them grow. But, they're just waiting for them to give them the go. There's a lot of influencers that want to do stuff, but it's like they're just not prepared to scale so fast yet. But as soon as we're out of beta, I think 6 months we could see a huge explosion.
Gotcha. So I saw your Twitch stream last night, and I want to get your answer to this question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the gifting etiquette?
Yeah, Jordy, my friend, cracked me up. What is the gifting etiquette? Honestly, as soon as it's someone, if you gift someone a moment, for free, you give them a moment. I think it's fair game from there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you give someone a gift, yeah, you don't want them to return the gift. You don't want them to, sell it. But it's like, you can't control that,
I got a 2-week policy. I hold on it for about 2 weeks, and then it's fair game after that point. So I just got a question, just a final question. If I'm starting out new with Top Shot, what is your best advice for me? Just kind of browsing the marketplace. If I'm unable to get a pack, like what should I buy? What should I avoid? Like, what is your opinion on that?
That's a really great question. I like that because there is a lot of new users and they don't necessarily know what to do. They get into Top Shot and they're like, okay, what's happening? Like, it's hard to buy a pack. Like, okay, I want to buy some moments in the marketplace. How do I know what to buy? And I would honestly say, do some research before you start buying stuff. Like, watch your favorite content creators, listen and hear what people have to say. Do some research, go to some good, third-party websites like evaluate.market, where you can literally type in a moment and you can see the data on it, because, for example, if you see this moment, and it's a moment and it's minted out of 35,000 CC. Well, if you don't know what that means, what does CC mean? If you don't know what that means, like showing you do some research first, maybe you should know. CC means circulating count, which means they could do more than 35,000. They can make it 100,000 if they want, LE means that it's capped. So if it says 35 LE, that means they're not going to make more than 35,000 because it's LE. And, if you're a new user, you don't know that. Definitely important. So I like evaluate.market. I like the official Top Shot blog. If you don't know about that, the official Top Shot blog is a great site. And that's what I would say. Do research first and then literally just be searching the marketplace and seeing, well, what moments do I want in my collection? What's my strategy? Because everyone has their own strategy. My strategy, I'm working on completing some sets from S1 right now. That's my strategy, and everyone has their own strategy based off of their goals.
Gotcha. And do you have any just kind of thoughts on the people that are still doubting Top Shot? I mean, I'm in Clubhouse and these other spaces, and I'm hearing people still having doubt about Clubhouse, and they're saying that it's a bubble ready to burst. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the thing is, you got to do research. Research Dapper Labs, the company behind Top Shot. Research Flow Blockchain, which is the blockchain technology behind Top Shot. Like, do research on these things for yourself. That's with every project. Is like, you shouldn't really be investing in a project unless you've done your homework. And back when I first got into it in October, I did research because I didn't have any money to invest. But I was like, okay, if I'm going to put some of these moments on my credit card, then I better know exactly what this is. So I did a lot of research, and I would say, do the same thing. Do your research.
Gotcha. And I just want to thank you for just jumping on with me today for this quick hitter, and I really appreciate you. Can you tell people where they can find you at? Plug your Twitch, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, so my Twitter account is probably my favorite for just quick, fast information. I like to post a lot of updates, what happens with Top Shot on there. It's just my first and last name, Steph Sutto on Twitter, STEPHSUTTO. And then my Twitch is just the link in my Twitter bio, NBA Top Shot Steph. And I try to stream most days a week for at least an hour and just, do Q&As. Last night I did a ladies' night. Like, sometimes I'll do events and a lot of fun stuff coming up on there. So my Twitch and Twitter are my only like official NBA Top Shot, niche specific social media channels.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And do you have any parting words?
I want to say thank you so much for having me, Rodney. I appreciate this. I'm excited to see your channel grow, and shout out to everyone who's learning about Top Shot and that's excited about it, because there's a long road ahead, and we're just in the early stages. We're all still early. We're still in beta. So keep that in mind, and happy collecting.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Steph, for joining me. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Thank you.